you ever see Steve Irwin's daughter, bro?
Molto bene, bella.
Nalensky. That telephone booth is a city landmark. Please grow up, Raphael.
Mom, I made a mistake, but I just got community service, and I'm going.
To move into your cousin Mateo's house immediately.
Mateo is under investigation by the FBI.
The psycho pig who arrested me, she thinks that you're in possession of nukes and are planning to blow up Texas.
I ain't the one under investigation here. This hood's full of perverts.
Perverts? Damn.
How many Hans you found?
5 this week.
A normal suburban neighborhood with normal suburban people living their normal suburban lives, or so we thought.
He's totally, utterly, completely out of control!
You better keep your eyes wide open! I'm your American nightmare!
How do you really ever know you're safe? The answer, America, is you don't.
American, all right!
See you next time, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are so excited to have with us here the directors of a new film called Rats. Yes, just like the song from Ghost. That comes out today, Friday, February 28th. We have Carl Fry and Maxwell Nalevansky. You're going to have to correct me.
Nalevansky, yes, it's good.
There it is. And that's the intro. Welcome in, guys.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, William.
It's my pleasure to have you guys on here. And I want to start, as many people should with this movie, with the setting and the soundtrack.
Yes.
This is a time and date movie. This is mid-2000s in a place called Fresno, Texas. Am I right here?
Recommenda.
Now, with that comes a mid-2000s soundtrack. And you didn't decide to choose just any old bands. You chose post-hardcore, emo, and hardcore bands all over this thing. I mean, your main character, Raphael, in the trailer is wearing a Some Girls t-shirt. That's a Heaven's Pregnant Teens t-shirt.
Yes,
in the trailer. I know my grindcore, sir.
Wow. He's a real one. We love it. He's true to this guy. True to this, baby.
Okay, this is going to be a fun one, baby. Can you talk about why you chose the songs you chose? As a big Thursday head, I loved hearing Thursday on the soundtrack.
Oh gosh, yeah. So first of all, we had an incredible music supervisor, Allison Moses, who's in the room with us right now. If you did want to ask her any questions, but she's also a producer, and
why is she the god of music production, music supervisory? Because her song choices were clutch, every single one.
She's number one ever, and there were so many ideas on the soundtrack that were just hers. There are ones that I thought of. There's ones that Carl thought of, but most importantly, she made it happen. Which is remarkable. And this is something I've been trying to preach to all other new filmmakers, that if you want great songs, find independent artists, find people that are actually popular, but aren't signed to a major. We were able to actually have dialogues with if it's Matt at Epitaph Records or if it's Justin Pearson at 31G, they want to support artists. So it was actually possible. Getting the Blood Brothers, that changed the film, getting from first to last, getting Thursday,
I set my friends on fire.
I set my friends on fire, having a feature on our song by Little B, the Bass God. Come on, this really created the fabric of the film and made it what it is now. So yeah, it was everything.
This is the perfect, this is the perfect example of the right song setting the right mood and working in harmony together perfectly. And this is the type of stuff. These are the kind of movies that I preach constantly about, a song, a movie that costs a lot more, like Naked Nora's Infinite Playlist, had a bunch of underground artists, and that soundtrack's amazing. And that movie stands the test of time because now those songs are new to people. I've heard the songs on this, 90% of the songs on the soundtrack a million times. But there's going to be a 20-year-old kid out there who wasn't even alive when Ball Records put out the first Thursday album in 99.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's a kid that doesn't know anything about Heaven's Pregnant Teens when that came out in 2004. They weren't even alive yet. No, your movie is going to bring that to them, and that's so fucking cool, man. How does that
Yeah.
feel to you guys to make this
And
movie?
not to mention the t-shirts, dude. Like getting the t-shirts, getting 3 I'm trying to talk over you. I'm so excited. But the Some Girls t-shirts, getting the Heaven's Pregnant Teens shirt, that hadn't been printed in 15 years. We reached out to 31G. Justin's like, oh, like, let me see if we can find this guy that screen printed these. They printed it for the first time in 15 years. The next week we have it. Once we saw that shirt, like we knew the movie was good. And like it really like okay, now it's real. Like that was everything.
I need that shirt because that shirt is I had it and now I don't have it anymore.
So did I. So did I. That's why I was like, okay, now it's real, you know.
Like, and that's the thing about this movie that I really, like I said, I love. I was looking at Allison's like her work that she's done. Every single thing that she's done has a great soundtrack.
It's crazy. He will be famous when Carl and I are, you know, tapping on the street for change. She'll be on the 15th story exactly with a very long entourage style desk. Yeah, she's got a lot of power suits.
You mean you guys are already living on the streets tapping for change?
Yeah,
yeah. The problem
we're
is
squatting in this place right now.
We can't dance, but
that's a big no-no. I get that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the script, guys, because you guys wrote the film together as well as directing it together. What was the writing process like? What was it like putting that together?
A manic state, initially. You know, we brainstormed together for a couple weeks, coming out of a catastrophic incident involving the movie we had been trying to do previous to Rats. And yeah, Maxwell threw out the name Rats with an exclamation mark specifically. We created a little graphic for it, which kind of became our mood board to start sticking ideas and life experiences and stuff that kind of all seemed to overlap in this world. And then, yeah, Maxwell sent me like 100 pages at some point after 2 weeks in a coffee shop and just at home. And yeah, we kind of took it from there.
Yeah, you know, we did a really serious outline. So yeah, I like whatever wrote like 100 pages, but like we had like 45 page like outline. So really not really. You know, unlike the film that fell apart, we decided to make a movie based on our own experiences, you know, like talking about our own youth, you know, and our experiences growing up in California and Texas, respectively. And, you know, we just leaned into that and then it worked out. Like, I think there's something a lot of filmmakers and artists or whoever like tend to know, like, write what you know, but you like, don't want to do that. It's like, sounds like, oh God, of course, because that's what I'm supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, we wrote about experiences that we had that we never really wanted to put in these movies. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, it just compounded and compounded. And then we had like a final script. Like I had that opening 10 pages of a jail cell experience I had, you know, and then Carl took the next scene and crushed it. So it was kind of just like that.
It's funny because Raphael's character reminds me of me in 2005. So I see a lot of myself there. Long black hair, you know, tight jeans, everything. The whole look is me. It's definitely me. Except instead of like the Some Girls t-shirt, I have like the Chiodos, you know, mechanical horse shirt on.
Yes, of course, classic.
Yeah, you know, and
we talked about that shirt actually. Yeah,
I have it in my closet if you guys want to borrow it.
Oh shit!
It doesn't fit anymore because I'm way fatter now, but I have it.
We both, buddy.
That's life, guys. I always have 2 questions I ask everybody I have the pleasure of talking to. The first one's always the same. Who inspires you guys to work and to get things done like this? Because this is clearly a movie made, especially for me. But in your lives, who are people that inspire you?
I mean, you know, Carl and I, until we met Allison, who, you know, came on initially as like a music supervisor and associate producer, and then it just became clear that she was truly a producer, and just in the creative sense of encouraging us and telling us that we're, you know, worthy of making things and kind of telling us to like make more stuff. So like having someone in your corner is important. Before that was kind of just the benefit of Carl and I having each other, you know, him admiring my work and vice versa, and kind of like forcing each other to like, you know, work as hard as we can. Because even when everything fell apart with our disastrous situation with some entirely crooked, evil, disturbing dark art producers in Alaska, we were able to still be like, we can do this. Even though that didn't work out, we can do this. And we'll make a fucking movie for $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, $1 million. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's stick figures, at one point we were going to shoot the entire movie in a garage. And it was like that conviction, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, and then once you get to production, as far as like continuing to be inspired, just trusting our department heads,
Yes.
people that we've worked with for a decade or even more. Some of these people, these are our close friends, that we're making this movie with, and so someone like our cinematographer Carmen Hilbert to show up every day, and it's here we are, we have 10 pages ahead of us. No matter what, like it doesn't seem possible, but it's just gonna have to be, and then to have these. Also, shout out to our production designer Sadie Moore and our costume designer Melina Perez, just the people we're working with very closely who are constantly pushing it, and that ultimately being a source of inspiration too.
Because like sure, we have a script before we met with them, but like we're already exhausted when we get to that point, and then we meet these new like totally energized people that are so ready to bring it to life, and like Carmen might as well be a third director. Like having 3 is just too many on there.
Yeah.
And she's trying to, not be a director. She's literally a successful cinematographer. But
you
might as well. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus, it's really, really scary to imagine this movie if it had been shot by somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a disturbing idea. It wouldn't happen like unflappable. We need unflappables.
I agree. I agree with you.
And Uncrustables.
I wish we had those. Speaking of throwbacks, we had the good Uncrustables.
I've been commenting on the Uncrustable page with the Rats account, just being like, so Rats. God, everyone in this movie loves Uncrustables. And like, people are like, what's the deal? And I don't really know, but I really love commenting on the Uncrustables Instagram with the Rats account. That's a passion of mine.
The best, honestly. Now, the next question's kind of not fun. So have fun with it. You can only watch 2 movies for the rest of your life. What 2 and why?
Ooh, only 2 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gotta be like for 2 different moods then, maybe.
I'd say Apocalypse Now and White Material, because those are 2 films that are always going to make me think, and I can watch in so many different ways and find something and still be inspired by the craft and just the totally wild, fearless approach to filmmaking. And if I only can watch 2 more movies, I want them to still be inspiring me to make more. I'm not saying those are like my top 2 of all time, but I can really rewatch those a shit ton. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe like just trusting. I'm gonna say Precious. I've never seen it before, so it'd be fun to have a movie to see for the first time someday.
Yeah.
Knowing I'm in this like predicament. And wow, I don't know, like something fun and lighthearted to balance that. I'm gonna go with Everybody Wants Some by Richard Linklater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, SpongeBob movie, like you can't. Simpsons movie, some of those like you just simply can't go wrong with. Like
yeah, but they do one animated.
They just keep giving. I'm gonna do Simpsons movie and Precious.
I like that Everybody Wants Some pick. It's one of the most underrated baseball movies ever made. So that's a great.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's probably the best baseball movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great film. We really love that movie.
I'm happy to hear you say that. There was a debate on a set recently about that, and people were saying it's not even in the top 3. It was a huge debate. So.
Oh no, it's definitely in the top 3 alongside Major League. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's 100%, 100%. So, you guys get a unique question based on this movie. What is a song that did not make the soundtrack that you would have loved to have put on the soundtrack? And it has to be same genre as most of your soundtrack.
Okay, Allison's gonna pop in. We've been talking about it the whole time. I'm sure she knows the answer to this.
I mean, I think the obvious answer is Stone Temple Pilots. Montage, so it's a
had a whole scene. Leaving.
The best,
and it was like Nestor singing it, and there's this whole montage. It's halfway through the film, and we're like looking back on the first 45 minutes of the film as if it's like,
yeah,
it was really funny and really good, but it cost $100,000 or something, and Stone Temple Pilots, they didn't like Rats.
Well, that's like the best Stone Temple Pilots song, so you could not have picked any better. Probably you can pick a different answer if you don't like Alice's answer.
Well, can we like I would say Wixon, the publisher. Don't do it.
Don't ruin my reputation.
Oh my God. We are not.
We
are not media trained.
That's obvious.
I'm not allowed to give this answer.
No, that answer sucks.
There's a lot of songs we wanted. I would say don't use that. I would say there's Yeah, everything on Fat Wreck, and accessible. Would have loved that.
Yeah, a lot of Fat Wreck stuff. That's true. We were trying to get in touch with NoFX. I'm sure at some point, like, that Mike will see the movie and
Yeah.
we're trying to be like, yo, like I'm from Santa Barbara County. We made this movie. What's
You could
up?
just go to the Punk Rock Museum in Vegas. He's one of the curators there.
Well, we thought about that.
Well, I sent them a pretty nice email, CC'd like all the employees and never heard back.
Yeah, you won't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like all of the victory bands from the mid 2000s you could have picked too. So
I got it. Okay. The song that we really wanted, but we couldn't get was the I Set My Friends on Fire cover of Crank That.
Yeah.
oh, that would have been sweet.
Oh, and it
like
fits
that
so
was
good.
that is the epitome of Rats. What
With
is Rats?
Bird in the edit.
Do you know the I Set My Friends on Fire cover of Crank That? That's the movie. Like that's all it is. That's
was
the
the
only
thing.
that's as deep as it that's the film.
The
Okay.
entire movie, yes. It would have been really cool to have like Hot Piss on there too. So.
Oh yeah, that'd be rad. Oh, dude, believe me. Yeah, I'm glad that it's over because it was really fun, but I guess it was hard, dude. It was hard to figure out what's you know what I mean?
It's funny because there's another movie coming out of a similar ilk with a mid 2000s soundtrack. They chose more traditional emo songs for the soundtrack, and I'm glad you guys chose some deeper cuts and some more post-hardcore.
Ick?
Ick. It's directed by Joseph Kahn, yes.
Is it Ick with an exclamation mark?
It is.
No way! Oh, wow,
No,
interesting.
no, it doesn't have an exclamation mark.
Okay,
I've already seen it. I already saw it. It's coming out soon.
Okay. Cool.
They chose more mainstream stuff where you guys chose some deeper post-hardcore cuts, which I appreciated as a post-hardcore kid. You know what I mean?
So embarrassing if it had just been no, I can't. Yeah.
I love it. Now, where can people find you if they want to reach out to you guys about the movie or about anything really? Just harass you on the internet.
Yeah.
Harass us at Rats the Film's Instagram. You can go to ratsthefilm.com, see where there's showings happening in a city near you or your city. If you live in Edmonton, Canada, you can definitely go see the film. And 28 other cities or something.
Kansas City?
Kansas City,
There for a whole week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's where you can find us. Rats the Film.
Yeah.
All right, that's perfect. And what do you guys want to leave the audience with in regards to Rats the Film?
I think we see the movie as sort of a medicine for whatever shit you got going on in your life right now. So just use it as an opportunity to kind of like shut off a little bit, laugh, enjoy yourself, be nostalgic, remember the good old days, and take it easy for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that answer. You guys have been
remind people what it used to be like. You know?
You guys have been great. I appreciate you on your honesty and your answers for all the questions today. Guys, make sure you check out Rats in a city near you, ratsandfilm.com to see where it's playing. Obviously, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Max. We appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your day, okay?
Thanks, William. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.